Commenting with Google Plus sucks. But commenting with Reddit is awesome. So head on over to Reddit and leave a comment on this video. And as always, thanks so much for watching. This is the continuation of an episode. If you want to get caught up, click the playlist annotation at the top of the video. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any episodes. You will notice that right now the time in the sky, as it were, the cave that you're in is so big that it does seem to have a kind of atmosphere. Is very it's cold. There's a wind blowing. There's no clouds, of course. There's kind of darkness as you look up, but it's about your druid sense, Osana, would tell you that it's about dusk at this point. So, so the cave itself, which has always got in a kind of gloom, is still, growing a bit darker. There are cracks at the top of the cave wall that let some sunlight in here and there so that you can vaguely tell what time of day it is, but it's always in a kind of perpetual gloom. And also, you guys are going to need to look out for some sort of food as well, too.
I look over at what Snikt is doing to this male cultist, and I just kind of call over, Snikt, stop playing with him.
I'm not.
Whatever your game is.
Well, it was truth or fire.
Truth or fire.
It's a great game. We love a Beck and Rattersum.
Truth or fire?
Truth or fire?
So, to the viewer, just a moment to you players, to the viewer, you can see me on a different screen. This is how I determine what things are going to happen to the players as we go along. This is a site called RPG Solo. And it is a very helpful way it's a way for you to basically do solitaire RPGs. But I use it to help me pull up ideas for where I'm going to take them next. So you can see things here that they cannot see. Okay? Anyway.
I'm foreboding.
Yes, exactly. And the players suddenly get very nervous.
Whatever this game is, it is upsetting Sakina.
Well,
he belongs to her. He is her creature.
Well, like the game's name says, truth or fire.
He says, you are asking me, you are telling me I must tell you the truth of whatever it is you wish to know, or you will harm me with fire? Well, you will have to harm me with fire then, because I will not be speaking, and neither will Sakina. Right, Sakina? And Sakina doesn't really respond, but she says, yes, of course, Gauvain. And then Sakina walks over and she says to Snick, do not harm him. He is my childhood friend. He has never caused, he's a very good hunter, but he's never caused me any harm. And I promise we will not do anything to run away. Don't harm him. And she looks at you willingly.
I'm just playing a harmless little game.
Sakina says,
I think Thistle would burst out. You guys just tried to feed us to giant piranha.
Sakina says, we were ordered to. You were here. Anyone who comes to our land without warning or without first speaking to our chief of our master.
Yeah, but how are we meant to get to him? So, truth or fire, let's go.
Perhaps more importantly, we should just ask them before the fire.
Well, that's the game. Truth or fire.
And
Sakina, where is the egg?
Sakina says, I do not know of which you speak, and then she looks very, very upset. Her face starts to turn red. And she says, I do not know of which you speak. I promise, I have no idea.
That is a very fetching color on you.
A very what color?
Fetching.
Ah! She gets even pinker. While this is going on, Osana, what are you doing?
Well, I got back to camp,
And I feel like my character keeps hearing something that's in the forest, but doesn't quite know what it is.
Exactly.
So she might perform a druid ritual to, I guess, sort of scope the land, like kind of feel the vibrations of the land.
Mm-hmm.
So she's gonna attempt that, but she's never done it before. So that's how that goes, I guess.
Oops. Ignore that. I did a mistake there. So sometimes, viewers, I want to let a player or character know something that the other characters can't either see, hear, or know about yet. And this is the way that I do it. Okay? So I'm just typing in a quick message here. I click on the token that I want to type to, and then I give in the message. Okay, so, and then the player can choose to reveal that information to the other players or not. It's usually in the player's best interest, since they're working as a group, to reveal the information, but they don't have to. In which case, that leaves me with the GM as whether I want to somehow find another way to let the players know, or let them stay in the dark and be ambushed, or have missed that information, or whatever. So over here, hopefully, and you guys will need to go to 720p to be able to see this, but hopefully you'll be able to see some of the text that's going on as the women are role-playing in the chat room. So you want to make sure to keep up with that as well, too. Osana, since you haven't gotten a fire, you'll notice, everybody, that the temperature is dropping. And Sakina walks over to you, Osana, and she says, I can assist you in finding ways to make a fire and, perhaps stay safe from the hobgoblins.
Hobgoblins?
There's hobgoblins?
Yes. Did you guys not know about the hobgoblins? I assumed that you had taken the time to know what is on our island if you're coming here searching for something. But yes, the hobgoblins. They come out to
do a druid ritual and everything, and they just tell me. Oh, man.
I think that's the answer to your druid ritual, isn't it?
It is.
I guess, but I didn't get to do any of the fun things. I didn't get to eat the herbs. I didn't get to dance around and wear
and cover yourself in animal blood and all that kind of stuff. Well, you can go ahead and do that if you want to, in order to find out.
Anyway, that just sounds like a good time. But
okay, so
I guess I just know my answer already.
Have you had some of Thistle's herbs?
I mean, I kind of try them from time to time. I think I've tried all of them so far.
So that is not the only thing that's on this island, Osana. So, I mean, I'm sure it's a big island, and I mean a big peninsula area. It's not really an island, but an outcropping or whatever. But it's big, so there's a lot more. So go ahead and do your ritual. If you do it, describe it to us and how it works. But I would recommend, if you guys want to, that you work on getting your needs taken care of, such as fire and food.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yes.
This is kind of a retcon thing, but Captain Harlock, who is with us, is he's not getting any. He's not really. Nobody's really interfacing with him. And
exactly.
His story was mostly with the Paladin.
Yes, it was.
Could we just say that he was with her wherever they went?
Oh, they wandered off on one of the other lifeboats by accident.
Yeah, like I mean, it just seems like it might be a bookkeeping.
It's going to be a lot easier for me to keep track of him because he's not really doing anything except throwing up. So
I'm going to sit on his seat.
So I'm in perfect agreement with that. And Captain Harlock what Captain Harlock decided to do was, before you guys really left the ship, he decided that he felt better. Enough to at least help his men with the repairing of the ship, which, as you remember, still has a bit of a hole in the side of it, and they're trying to keep giant piranha out. So every once in a while, on the winds, from the ocean, you hear the sounds of men yelling and occasionally singing a working song. Yo ho ho! Shove! Shove! Yo ho ho! Shove! Shove! And you hear Captain Harlock's voice going, "Faster, you fools! Faster! Faster!" And then you hear nothing more.
Let's get away from this crazy place.
You can still see the ship out in the ocean. It hasn't gone anywhere. And Captain Harlock has been paid to return you guys with the egg. So it's in his best interest to do so. But who knows what he will do? We will find out. And that's a very good retcon. Thank you very much, Stephanie, for that. That gives a little bit of time.
Like it might be a little easier. Yeah.
Exactly. So now we have all of you guys here. It's cold, and also, sadly, it begins to lightly rain. Don't ask me how it's raining in an underground ocean, but it is. And I'm going to give you a bit of rain now, and we're going to turn that wind down a little bit. And you guys should hear that rain.
McKinnon, what do you think? Did he pass Truth or Fire?
Perhaps we should go conquer Sakina's father and their tribe. That they might tell us where the egg is.
Ooh.
They might at least have somewhere warm. I want out of the sweat.
I guess. And Snick looks at the cultist. Yeah, you don't know anything. Dumb cultist. They just pick up my rope and pull it. He kind of tumbles
spinning
out
him.
of it. Yeah.
One moment, please. One more thing.
I get to keep my thief rope now, don't I?
Yes, you just put it in your inventory and mark 1 weight.
My cat's not happy.
Okay, so you guys notice that Thistle's cat is growling, and Osana, did you do that ritual? Because if you did, I want to see you describe it.
I didn't get a chance to do the ritual, but I did hear the rustling again that I heard earlier.
Okay, so it would be a good idea to let your other players know that, because this, when I'm talking to you, when you see something come up on your chat room in yellow, that's a whisper. That means that the other players cannot see it. So it's important for you to reveal that information to them, unless you have some in-character reason why you keep it. But I think if something is rustling in the woods up above you, you probably want to let your companions know so they can ready their weapons if there is something to ready their weapons against.
Goblins.
Like, Snick may often have reasons not to say things.
Exactly. So you guys notice Osana going up towards the path, and you notice Sakina looking nervous and starting to walk behind her. She readies her knife out, and she starts to hiss quietly. And she says, "God, for some fire. I need some fire." And she turns to Osana and she says, "Osana, before it gets any darker in tonight, we need fire."
I mean, if it's already raining now, how are we supposed to get a fire to start it? Have to find some other way.
She says, "That is very true, and you are right. Perhaps one of you might have a tarp or some sort of thing. Otherwise, we will have to go amongst the trees." And then she points up into this direction right here, where I have just pinged. And she says, there and there, we should be able to get some dryness. We will have to go up the hill, and we can make a fire in there. But hobgoblins are best kept away with fire. We need to get them going. And then she urges everyone up the hill. This direction. She says to Makino, she calls behind and she says, "Mistress, please follow."
It's probably safer out in the forest than it is out in the open.
That's an excellent point.
Well, and I'd feel at home there. I'm a ranger.
So as you walk up...
Snick moves kind of slowly because of her short little legs.
Snitch, do you need picked up?
Come, puny male. Follow with us.
He's lucky he didn't get truth or fire. Well, he passed it.
This will probably move through the forest pretty easy.
Yeah, I make a lot of ching 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 noises when I walk, so I'm in chainmail. There's a really good reason that I didn't fall in the water.
You can't swim?
Well, I can swim. I'm just wearing, 40 pounds of metal. That's all.
Okay, those are not dark enough. One moment, please, while I come up with some stuff here. And remember, I may have reminded you guys about this before, but you can turn your sound effect down if they are too loud in your ears. Okay, so Makina, Thistle, Osana, the cat, and Sakina, who's also up here. Sakina arrives at the top of the end of this glade, and you see a glade where the trees are thick enough that not a lot of rain is falling down. There's a bed of pine needles, and there are numerous little rocks and pebbles and different stones around. And actually, the cat moves over here and begins to sniff around in this area. And as the cat sniffs around, you see... Just 1 minute. You see... some footsteps. They are... Now, ignore these footsteps because as far as the fact that they are obviously wearing shoes. But they are to show you where the footsteps are coming from and going to. You see footsteps that look like little paws, I guess, I'd say. And they are heading off in this direction, and I will show you using the ruler tool. They are heading off in that direction.
I don't see it.
Oh, let me draw it. Oh, because I'm on the wrong I'm on the wrong layer. Do you see it now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And Sakina urges you again, Fire, we need fire. And she begins picking up sticks. What are you all doing?
I mean, these tracks are pretty interesting. I don't want to follow them.
Sakina says, Hobgoblins, come close. And then she she starts trying to desperately make fire by putting two sticks together. What do you do?
I mean, what is a hobgoblin? Does anyone even know?
You're about to find out.
I mean,
Hobgoblins are like big goblins generally. Big,
so like,
nasty, smelly goblins, and they do not have anything of value.
but like, what's a goblin?
They're goblins are goblins. Goblins are... Well, someone once called me a goblin, but, well, he didn't walk away very quickly. They're small little green things.
You do not want to find out what they are, Osana. Make a fire.
But like, what if they're nice?
Well,
What if we could be friends?
you guys are smacking your head.
I take out my sword. It is not called Friend Maker. I will warn you this. I'm going to stand in defense of this area because I know that with 5 different signs and many warnings from our new little servant that hobgoblins are coming. I'm not stupid. Okay, I am stupid, but danger is approaching, and I am ready for it.
Okay. So, interestingly enough, you see the footprints slowly dissolving. And then a few more footprints appear in a different place.
As the ranger, can I study the footprints to learn anything about
Yes.
them at all?
Exactly. And one of the things that you can do to make sure that to do your play your character is you can always look on your class and see if there's a special move that might pertain to the situation. For example, in your case, you have starting moves. You have a druid. You have born of
Ranger.
ranger. I'm sorry. You have hunt and track.
Mm-hmm.
So you follow a trail of clues left behind by passing creatures. And for that, I'm going to put that into the chat room for you. And that is how you do that. And what I've done, if you guys should see macro bars on the bottom of your screen. And hopefully on those macro bars, if I've done it correctly, you should see roll 1d4, roll 1d6, roll 2d6. Do you see those?
I see the 2d6.
Do you see
I'm
roll?
adding the others. If you go under the settings, you can add the others.
Yeah, I thought I had them in your bar. If I didn't, I have them in my bar. But anyway, go over to the settings and add those to your macros.
Add the extra ones.
Exactly.
When these footprints start appearing and everything, I tell Sakina, get your man. Hide.
And Sakina says, he is tied, but I will try.
She took it.
No,
She
no,
untied
I-
him. She untied
Oh, I
him.
missed that. I missed that.
I untie. I simply grabbed the end of my thief rope and ran off with it. And he tumbled out.
Okay, so Sakina heads down. She says, yes, I will be happy to, mistress. And then she runs down. And then you hear a short cry. And then she says, from coming up from down the hill, and then she says, Gawain, where are you? And
I told him to follow. Just because he didn't follow, that's his own fault. I start heading down towards her.
okay, she is about here now. And she's looking around and she says, she calls up the hill and she says, he is no longer to be seen. Mistress, I am sorry.
I chase down after her.
Okay. And as you see, the rest of you see Makino go chasing down in her full plate metal armor, and it's kind of clanking, and the rest of you feel, beg your pardon? Chainmail?
Yep.
And the rest of you see, you guys see the footprints move again over here. And the fire, which is kind of, was kind of trying to get a smolder on. Sakina couldn't keep it going. So I'm going to, because you guys are still new players, I'm going to give you one last quick chance to make a fire, because what I've been doing is giving you hints as to what you need to do to take care of the situation coming up.
If you throw dirt on a fire, does not make it, burn more?
Osana, you are like the worst druid ever. You're a great role player, but you're druid. Oh my gosh.
Jessa, did you get my message?
Ah, I see it up here now. I noticed, by the way, last week when I was going through the chat that I missed a ton of stuff in chat. And it's just because my eyeballs are trying to go to 3 different places. I have the GM part that you guys can't see yet. I have the things I'm working on in the background to bring the new things in, and the chat. So if I miss something, do exactly what you did and just tell me. And that is fine. And what we're going to do actually before this danger comes up is we're going to take our last break, and then we're going to go ahead and do finish up, and we'll do about another 45 minutes, and that should give everyone time for you. Siri, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
And go ahead and do that, Snick, and let me know. You'll have to roll for it using the skill that's on your sheet, okay?
Yep.
So
roll is 2d6, isn't it?
Yeah, and then if you click on the 2d6 macro, you should have a box that pops up that will allow you to put in your modifier and whatever your modifier is for that roll. Okay. Let me ask Makino.
What?
Just a minute.
Makino's sitting there thinking, what did Snick just do? Because I rolled for something and then you're asked something.
Oops, I forgot to click on the character.
Nope.
Okay, so
I don't have an adventurer's kit.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Yeah. Because I took chainmail instead of adventurer's kit.
Okay, there is one rule that I'm going to have, and that is that, Snick, you cannot pickpocket your fellow adventurers. You can pickpocket everyone else left and right, but not your fellow adventurers unless you have asked the player for permission to do so first.
That's why I asked you, the GM, so you could sort of moderate that.
Exactly. And my ruling on that is that it's okay for you to look for try and attempt to get fire tools, which she doesn't have, but not any. I won't let you take any of her trinkets. But don't worry, because there's gonna be plenty of other people to pickpocket.
You can't take my trinket anyway. It's actually like welded onto my armor.
Yeah, see, I was looking in any pockets in her armor kind of
Yeah,
thing.
she was looking for just any trinkets you happen to be carrying. You know, not your dragon.
Well, I mean, the main thing was any fire making tools, but if there happened to be anything else,
you would not say no to it.
Yeah, I kind of assume that Snick periodically steals, little things from me, and then gives them back later, because it's really about the chase rather than the.
If that is the case, then you are perfectly willing to pickpocket. If that's the agreement you have with the player.
Remember, Makino's always got my back.
Okay.
Right.
And Makino loves my little games, and it's probably just a little game to test her awareness and my thief skills.
Then that is fine with me. As long as it's always in the consent of the player, that's fine. And so, we're going to end this episode here on this rainy, windswept beach. We're going to come back, and the players are going to have perhaps an unpleasant surprise in front of them. We will see in the next episode. And this is the end of part 2 of the Sunday Women's Tabletop Gaming Group. I want to thank you, as always, for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, please hit the thumbs up button below and encourage all of us. We love doing this for you, so hit the thumbs up button to say thank you. And if you loved what you saw, join the party and subscribe. We'll see you back here for part 3 and just after a 5-minute break. This episode is going up once a day, so you guys will see this episode tomorrow, the day after the first episode. That was a messy ending. Okay. Messy outro time. Okay. Anyway, we'll see you in the next episode. Thanks as always for watching. Get every new Jessa channel video right in your email inbox. Subscribe, then from your YouTube homepage, click Manage Subscriptions, then check Email with new uploads. And thanks for watching.